the market is falling, and we're still making money. Today's video is a detailed breakdown of Bitcoin and Ethereum local charts and the most relevant entry points. This alt season will be completely different. We'll discuss which coins may never recover and why. I know exactly what many of you are feeling right now. That sense of frustration, confusion, and fatigue. So I want to share with you a few memories from the previous bull cycle. Welcome to the daily crypto market and Bitcoin review. Today is October 23rd. Honestly, the crypto market still looks quite gloomy in the short term, but that doesn't stop us from earning and using every local opportunity that appears. Let's recall what we expected from AVAX in yesterday's daily review. Nothing has changed, and this coin knows how to live its own life, independent of Bitcoin's moves. But for a confident long entry, AVAX still needs to reach the strong weekly support zone, the buyer levels between 18.5 and 17.6. That's where we keep waiting. As a result, the price touched our first long order almost perfectly and already shows a healthy rebound, giving us a pleasant local profit. By the way, these exact entry points were shared in our Telegram 3 days ago on October 20th, in a separate post with detailed analytics. Don't miss those. Now let's talk about Aster, ASTR. Despite its gradual decline, it has recently become a reliable profit maker. From the first setup around 0.974, we got a clean bounce. I advised you to take a small profit and move limit orders lower to 0.95, reminding you of this update in the previous review. That strategy worked beautifully. The price hit 0.95, then jumped 8%, which equals an impressive 80% gain with 10x leverage. However, since Bitcoin and Ethereum haven't yet reached their lower liquidity zones, BTC 105,000 or 105,800 USD, ETH 3615 3555 USD, and BNB hasn't dipped below $1,000, the risk of a deeper correction still remains. So, we partially lock in profit on ASTR, move stop losses to break even, and place new limit long orders between $0.80 and 0.85. If the hourly candle closes below 0.83, that's our invalidation level. And that, my friends, is what I call a mature, balanced crypto trading strategy. The market never corrects in one red candle. Corrections come in waves. On the first wave, we caught XRP, HYPE, and SUI, which are still up 10 to 15%. On the second wave, we entered Aster. On the third, AVAX. This means we don't care how deep or how long the current correction goes. We're making profits on each wave and will continue doing so. Eventually, with high probability and minimal risk, we'll catch leveraged entries right at the market bottom. Meanwhile, we patiently wait for the spot portfolio positions, the investment part, to play out once alt season begins. In simple terms, we earn here and now, real cash, without giving up on future opportunities. Pretty cool, right? I don't think you'll see anything like this in other communities. So if you want to join these setups on time and move with us through the market, don't forget to subscribe. Daily crypto reviews every single morning. And make sure you follow our free Telegram, where I post trade setups, entry levels, and quick voice updates. Just like yesterday. There, you'll find more than 66,000 like-minded people, and the community keeps growing at incredible speed. Now let's dive into the local charts and see what's really happening in the crypto market. Starting, of course, with Bitcoin. Let's start with Bitcoin. At the moment, Bitcoin's price is still moving inside a triangle, and I don't want to disappoint anyone. But it looks like this formation could hold for quite a while. The volatility inside this triangle suggests that this sideways chop might continue right into early November, unless some truly major fundamental event or news breaks that changes everything. Yesterday, the CME gap on Bitcoin futures was successfully closed, and immediately after that, the price bounced. Take note, even gaps can sometimes provide entry points for scalp-long setups, if there are other factors supporting the idea. However, pay attention to this. The most delicious, obvious liquidity on Bitcoin between $105,000, $105,800 USD has still not been taken out. That means yesterday's long idea remains valid. We can consider a long entry if the price dips into that zone. Before that happens, though, it's better not to rush into new long positions. Now, BNB. BNB hasn't yet swept the liquidity sitting just below the psychologically important 1,000 USD mark. Ideally, that move needs to happen before a true reversal upward can begin. Until we see that, we know the market maker behind BNB still has room for manipulation. So, opening longs too early here is risky. Personally, I'm happy to wait and catch BNB near 953 USD if the market gives us the chance. As long as BNB hasn't tested that round $1,000 level from below, I'm not in a hurry to assume the correction is over. Let's move on to Ethereum. Locally, ETH is holding firm around 3,700 USD, but the only safe and logical place to try a long position, even if it's just for a bounce or a possible reversal, lies between 3 to 615, 3,560 USD, right when that liquidity gets cleared out. If the market provides such an opportunity, perfect. We can look for a long there. But opening new ETH longs before a move to that zone is basically gambling, not trading. Why? Because on the 6-hour and 4-hour charts, ETH is clearly forming another triangle of uncertainty. We have descending highs above, creating liquidity for shorts, and ascending lows below, where long traders have placed their stops. ETH is essentially waiting for Bitcoin or for some major piece of news to give direction. Usually the first breakout from such formations is false. The market triggers one side's liquidity, then makes its real move in the opposite direction. That's why I'll only consider opening a long on ETH if we first get a fake breakdown, a move below the triangle into the 3-6-115, 3-560 zone. So, while the crypto market remains uncertain and suspended in this sideways range, our job is simple. Stay calm, patient, and watch from the sidelines. If, without any further correction, which is rare, the market suddenly turns upward on powerful positive news, we already hold several long positions caught earlier in the correction. If the correction deepens, no problem. We'll buy quality assets like BNB and ETH from even better entry points, and ultimately our total profit will be larger. I'm really hoping that tomorrow, Friday, October 24th, the release of the crucial U.S. inflation report will finally provide at least a short-term resolution for the crypto market. This report comes out at 15:30 Kyiv time, and we'll publish it instantly in our free Telegram. Not just raw numbers, but full analysis of whether the data is positive or negative for the markets. Right there, I'll also post any new updates and trading ideas in real time. Honestly, I believe our Telegram is probably the only crypto resource you really need. With education, live discussions, tools, and most importantly, information you can actually monetize.